Hi friends, this is Lita and welcome to my channel. Today what we're going to do is an October flip through. So let me just get a seat and let's get started. I did put out to the side here a little bit of pretty much these are all the materials what I used this month. I'm still inside of my Chic Sparrow. It's a B6 Hemingway Oak Park. It's Deluxe. That's my journal cover. And let's quickly go through I kept this month very simple, so I want to go through very simply and quickly some of the materials what I used this month. So inside of my pencil case, I kept pretty much 3 or 4 Tombows. I didn't have this one. I will show if you want me to. I guess I can put in my description box the numbers for my Tombows, but this was N25 was basically my black. I used N55 as a gray. I also used this as a type of a gray, was N89, and I had 990, and the blue I like to use the most is 451. I did use this 452 a little bit, but not much. So those were the Tombows that I used this month. This black didn't really, dark gray didn't get used much. One of my favorite things to use, and I always keep it in my pencil case, is my Jelly Roll in a 10. It's very fat. I love it. I also used a Jelly Roll. I think these are called, let me see this. Yes, this is Mettalic. This is number 543. It's metallic blue. I always keep a series of microns with me, but I would say mostly I used the PN, which stands for a plastic nib. And I often use a 005 as in a 0 and also a 05. So a 005 is very fine. And last but not least, I always keep my little sepia pencil, like charcoal type pencil. I use that for noting coffee. And then I had made myself some washi cards, which I often do. I have my November ones already prepared. I seem to use these two consistently, month in and month out. They have the days of the week, and these ones are from Jane Davenport. They're little faces of women, and I always like to use those. So I keep these two washies constantly inside my pencil case. And for this month, my theme, as you will see, was mainly black and white. I did try to do, oh look here, this is so funny. I have a bookmarker on here. It's a little kitty cat bookmarker. I'm gonna throw her over here with the ladies. Okay, so my theme this month, as I was saying, was black and white. It was October, and I felt with the American holiday of Halloween in October, I wanted to stick with black and white, and also I kind of wanted to do black cats. Black cats are something very much associated with the American holiday of Halloween. The scary black cat that hangs around with the witch, or, you know, is common theme. And I happen to love black animals. I've had often pets in my life were black. I had a black Labrador Retriever. I had a black cat. So I thought cats was good, and the black and white. This is pretty much the stickers that I was using this month. I don't remember who the name of this planner is, but it's a woman's name, a female name, and she had these little planner type of stickers that I had purchased recently, and I was using hers for cocktail beverages, for folding laundry. There were little face emojis that I used. I also have some book of sticker sheets of cats, and I was using those. And for my birthday in August, I had got these in Woodstock, these little kind of funny little flag stickers like, oh, it says like, I didn't order pizza, namaste in bed. But so I used these in this month. And also I had these little small black and white washi and decorative type of sticker tapes that I used. So this was kind of my supplies that I used consistently this month. And you can see that is really pretty much what I used the entire month. And I wanted to review and go over that real quick. We're going to jump into my book. I'm also currently still inside my Archer and Olive B6 116 page journal, and I have really thoroughly loved using this book, and I would definitely recommend purchasing an Archer and Olive notebook, journal book, if you enjoy thicker, high quality paper that you can use a variety of mediums on. So as I said, my theme this month was basically black and white. That's how the grays or the shades of grays came in. And black hats for the most part. So I made an envelope in the front, as I very often do in the beginning of a month, and I drew a cat. And this sticker was starting to get, I was keeping it inside my pocket over here for the longest time, and it was getting kind of like dirty and wear and tear, because I like the little bird peeking out from there. But so what I did is I put my cat with, I thought this kind of a classic thing is that cats and birds, often when I did have my cats passed away, pets passed away. So this past year. So cats would love to look out the window and stare at the birds, because we have bird feeder out in Long Island that we fill religiously every morning. And so I thought this would be, with the view going up, perfect place for me to give this sticker a home. So in October, the bird was here, and I used little cats at the top of my calendar here. And although I've written in a few appointments in my calendar here, and also I noted a little vacation break at work there, I don't really use my calendar, especially in this small of a size of notebook. Maybe if I had taken 2 pages and made my boxes bigger, I would use it more for appointments or events. Excuse me, I have like, not a cold, but kind of, I guess, winter stuff going on that I'm trying to adjust to winter starting here in New York. So if my voice or if I get sniffles, please just bear with me. So anyway, I really use my calendar for the day and the date. As I'm journaling, I'll be like, what day is it? What day is it? What day is it? It's because I never seem to know what the day or the date is. So that's really the sole purpose of my calendar. And then I just feel the need, I'm compelled to write something in it. And so therefore a few little things end up in it. But its main purpose is to help me know what is the day and the date. Other than my telephone, this is my main source of finding out what the day and the date are. So I do actually use this page here right behind it for putting in appointments, or if, you know, larger events or something that's really appointments. And this side is, I call it a gratitude page. Sometimes I use a word, or I'll write a word for, maybe that's my word of the day or an inspiration, or I'll write a sentence like a line a day type of thing. But overall, in general, this is my gratitude page. I always like to make what I call my hustle spread, and that's what most other people call a brain dump. But for me, hustle isn't about needing to feel rushed or trying to do everything. It's more about being inspired and about moving, but not in a hurried and panicky and stressful way, more of in an inspired and motivated type of way. So I knew I wasn't going to use my hustle page much today and this month. And so although I enjoyed decorating it a little bit using my black and white and trying to stay towards darker tones and my little kitty cat themes, I have a boombox post-it note and a little retro cassette post-it note. And so this actually never ended up happening. Some of these things did happen, but anyway, I used it a little bit. But then also what I do is I use a bit of space for what I call my running monthly to-do list. Sometimes I'll have to do and to buy, that they may be larger items that I want to purchase. But instead of writing to buy, I just wrote to do, and I did pretty much all of the things that I accumulated as the month goes on, and I have tasks that I want to do, but that they don't require to be done on a specific day, not even in a specific week. I put them here, and that's why I call it my running monthly. These are things I'd like to get done. They don't have a hard set date when they need to be done. They may not even need to be done. They just maybe wanted to be done. So I will put them in here, and this works very well for me. So we're all at different stages in our life in this planner type of community. You know, you may be very young, and maybe you are a student, or maybe you're a young mother, or you know, a middle-aged mother, and maybe you have children that are small, and you may have an enormous number of tasks that you may need to do, or events that you may need to go to or keep track of or plan for. But at this stage in my life, my kids are grown up, and it's really just me that I'm quite fortunate to have to look after. And so my to-do list is very short. So I plan in a very different way. And this month, really, what I've discovered is I have not been doing much planning at all. And I think I would like to change that a little bit for the coming months. This has been my rock solid, very steady go-to spread, not just all of this month, but also in previous months, even as I've gone from an A5 size to a wide size down to a B6 size. The horizontal weekly spread has been the one that works for me the best. The space may have gotten smaller or narrower, and I think at one time maybe I used to only do it across one page, or maybe I did do it across 2 pages when I had an A5. No, when I had an A5, I'm pretty sure I did it across 1 page. But so here I've just continued the horizontal spread, but I've made it across 2 pages since the real estate is generally smaller, and all I know is this really works for me. And I will keep my weather in here. I'll keep my hydration that I track, coffee that I track. This month I didn't create a mood spread. Instead, like I showed you these stickers that I had, I was using these for, if I was having cocktails, because I was attempting to not drink more than really 1 or 2 drinks in a night, preferably like on the weekends. Trying to lower my alcohol intake, not because I have a drinking problem, but because of calories, that I didn't want to be getting too much excess calories from alcohol. So like I said, I was using these emojis for my mood instead of creating a mood page, mainly because I had bought these stickers. Emojis came in the sticker set that I enjoyed. That was this one's here, this type. Like I said, I don't remember the name of the woman who these belong, who created these, but I bought it in Michael's. So that was that. Let me put these away. And then yeah, I was using the washi. I don't have my stamps to be able to show you. And this is what I've discovered this month, is that, like I said, I didn't do much planning. I did do a lot of journaling. And this is very commonly how you see on this page how I will journal. I was writing on this page all across, I think I both of these, and then I started writing a different, it may have been the same day, but it was at a different time of the day. And then so I start writing in a different direction so I can see and break out. That's my way of breaking out my conversations. So this month was, I want to say there was probably a lot of stress this month in my life. There's a lot of changes that are going on at my workplace, and specifically for my department or my area that I oversee. So change, even if it's good, is still often very stressful. So I was doing things to try to keep, I was doing things with my journal to try to keep things simple. And like for this day, I just took some colors of like the Tombows that I put away. Oh, actually, there was a purple I used here. But anyway, and then like I used a washi and I just doodled. I didn't do even very much journal keeping. I did do this tip-in from a vacation trip I took in the month. And again, you could see my daily, my weekly spread. And here's a little to-do list, but I wrote in gray. I did this mosaic washi tapes that I really liked. Again, you can see how I was journaling one direction and then the other. And I did do a little bit of stamping, and I'm not sure, I just felt like putting the emoji there for some reason. Another weekly spread, and this time using my Tombow markers instead of washi tapes. And here I did do a little bit of planning. This was for my writing prompts group. And here I was attempting to, this was from, I was reading a book called The Clean 20. And so I was taking some notes that I was inspired from that book. This Post-it note had to do with gym membership information. And here again, you could see that same writing style where, first of all, I'm using stickers and stamps and this direction and then going that direction. So, and here's the classic. This is the classic of my style. So here I used the stamp Another Bird. I was like, I had to put this bird, this crow. All month I was like, I have to get that stamp and use it once, because somehow the vision of a crow around near Halloween, the birds, like Alfred Hitchcock's movie, The Birds, that scary movie, I just felt like I have to get a bird in there other than that cute little Chic Sparrow bird somewhere in my month. And then I just would use my Tombows and my brown charcoal marker to make the tree around it. But this is classic for me with my journaling style. Here putting a little bit of washi tape and then writing here this direction, and then this was on a Friday. I started writing on this direction. This is a Thursday. This was Thursday. This is all that I wrote on Thursday. So that this was in my Jelly Roll pen. And oh, I didn't show as one of my materials is my fountain pen that was inked with Pilot ink. But this was my Pilot fountain pen, my TWSBI fountain pen that's down here. And then over here is actually, I used my Micron. So this pen, this pen, this pen are all on this page. But you could see how I'd write this direction with my Jelly Roll, this direction with my fountain pen, and then this direction over here with my Micron. And a little ode to coffee. This is a little fancy coffee contraption, and that's a washi tape. But so you can see, as I keep showing you, is it journaling, journaling, journaling. Here I did I have a little video where this type of art that I did, what I'm calling it mosaic washi tape. I'll put a link either in the card, or I'll put a link in the description box about a little video I did for washi tape, tearing it into pieces and doing like mosaic art. That I did that for, again, de-stressing. A little bit of a to-do list and a lot more journaling here, 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 and then a to-do list in there. And my weekly with my weather, and again, hydration, emojis, washis. This page was another day where I was feeling a bit stressed. I did a journal with me. I'll put a link to that video down below, where I used some little black and white cat stickers. I had my to-do list, my grocery shopping list, and I just took my Tombows and I splashed some color, and then I did watching, reading, and listening to what I was currently doing. And I left it very simple and left this blank. So if you go back and watch my video where I did this journal with me, this is what the page ended up looking like when I was done scribbling. And this under my to-do list, I did end up going, when I wanted to go to John Fluvog's and buy boots, I did end up going, and I did get myself some beautiful, gorgeous boots. And so it goes, and so it goes. Here I'm future planning for what will happen in my upcoming journals, and a little bit of memory keeping, my final weekly spread, and here is the last days of my month. I finally decided yesterday that I was going to do a little bit of watercoloring and some hand lettering and add some color into my black and gray, because that's what I needed. And that's what I want you to take away from this flip through in October, is that you could see how simple it is. And our journals are for us. They're ours, and they're ours to do with whatever it is that we like, and to have it fill our needs for however we like. So as beautiful as many of the journal flip throughs are that you will see on YouTube, always realize that it is your journal to use and do with as you please, and to meet your needs and to serve you. So this month I really needed to have simplicity, and I needed to be able to empty out my brain and to dump words onto pages, to clear out my brain so that I would have space for whatever my workday was going to entail. Because as I've said, I have a lot going on in my workplace right now, with changes that are happening. So I needed to keep everything in my journal as simple as possible. So as much as I enjoy some of those aesthetics from other YouTube creators, I really just did not have the time for doing any kind of fancy aesthetics. In the past, though, I will tell you something that I've done is I was a Patreon of another creator's account, and I would follow them on Patreon so that I would be able to download some of the content they create and use that in my journals. Because although I enjoy doing some type of drawing and doodling and sketching, I definitely enjoy sketching, my talent is not that high in the art side, but I enjoy it. So sometimes what I would prefer to do is to be a Patreon to somebody and download their materials so that I can use it in my journal and still feel like I have that nice, pretty aesthetic, because I find it pleasing. I do enjoy it, but I don't feel the need to have the struggle, and I don't feel the need to be the original creator to be able to enjoy it in mine. So you do your journal how it is that serves you best. And for me this month, it was about keeping it simple. Whether it was making borders with just a Tombow, whether it was just throwing some color in a corner and plopping down some kitty cats, if it was just using some stickers, if it was just doing some hand lettering, if it was just making simple art with washi tape, I kept things so in a way that I would be able to de-stress, not add stress. So that's all that I have for you today. And I am really thinking now more towards what am I going to be doing for November. And I feel like I'm going to be needing to keep it pretty simple again. But you will see that upcoming. I don't put mine up far in the future, like a week in advance. I will actually just put whatever I start doing probably in November up in the first week. And then I'm looking towards 2020 for what type of setup am I going to start out the year. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait for the year to start or if I'm going to start up in advance and start 2020 in November or December. I'm not 100% sure. I may just go ahead and start my 2020 journal, because I've never, not even once, had a journal ever make it through a whole year. I think the most I've ever managed to get a journal to survive through is possibly 6 months. I think more like 4 or 5 is more realistic of the longest that I've managed, because I am a prolific journaler. This is a small book, but in an A5, I often will manage to end up with a chunky monster, and it won't last longer than, 4 to 5 months usually. So I may just go ahead and start an entire new journal in November, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do, and I will share that with you next week, whatever I end up deciding to do. So with that, I say, well, depends wherever this meets you at. Have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening. And I wish you well. Bye, friends.